Check, check, dinosaur. Alrighty. I think we're good. It's early morning stream again! Yay! And for those who are here on TikTok or Instagram, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that's where I'm going to be reading chat and answering questions. So go over to YouTube. It is free, as well as that is where all of my cosplay tutorials are if you are interested in learning to make cosplays. So yes. And for those here on YouTube, good morning. I know I'm the second time I've done an early stream. We typically stream on Fridays in the afternoon, so surprise! But yeah, just another busy day of work and things. I'm gonna turn the music down just a tiny bit more. That's a little better. I felt like I was slightly yelling over it. But yeah, things that have happened since the last stream is I got dressed up in my Tyrio cosplay that I made back in 2018. My gosh, I was surprised the lights still worked on it. That cosplay, I actually never made it for myself. I made it for my sister to wear, and I wore Ario from Diablo at the same time, so it was interesting to put it on. And definitely it did not fit me, but it was the best I could make it work for just doing a dress-up video. So yeah, happy I did that. So yeah, hey Wizard, hi Megusa, welcome on. But yeah, happy I did that. We have in the works today, we're gonna be doing some hattie hats. I've got 3 new hat patterns that I'm working on, so we will be putting them onto foam and cutting them out. So yeah, it's a baseball hat, a gardening hat, and then a pirate hat. And then the last one, I'd like to do 4, but I'm gonna probably do a cowboy hat, but we'll see. Just some generic hat patterns. What else? We potentially have a new sponsor, but I'm not gonna announce it yet. And we will be changing what cosplay I want to do next. We're still doing Loki, but the one after that I had planned to do something else, but I'm still not gonna say it. So no changes for y'all to know. But for me, in my head, I was gonna do a personal build next, but instead we're gonna do another community build. Yeah. So that's kind of the plan. But let me get out some foam so we can start working and get some stuff going. I will be kind of checking in on Nami here and there. She was really sick yesterday. She exploded like 5 times throughout the house. So I just kind of want to make sure she's doing okay. We're probably going to change her food diet again because she's not doing well with this one. So I look on her on the ground. Yeah. Oh, wait, I have one more thing. What's up? We did this a few streams ago, but I finally fixed these. So they were in 2 or 3 pieces because one of mine didn't print correctly. And then I want to say soldered, but you don't solder these parts. You basically use a 3D printed pin and you put more of the filament on there, and then you kind of like fuse and melt them together and sand it. But next will be sandable primer on all of these, some more cleanups, and then I can make these gold. So yeah, that and the capey cape in the background. It is all sewn with the straps and everything. I just don't have it turned because I don't want to get flagged on the platforms again for my mannequin being indecent. Meh. So. Okay. To the closet. What is for I think? Oh wait, this one's good. What is this one? This one doesn't feel like it. Oh, it has so much foam now. It's wonderful. Yay. Okay, we'll start with that one. Yeah, we're using foam provided by Cosplay Supply, which is our new foam provider. So everything going forward will be made with that foam specifically. And I am very grateful. We're gonna switch over to this camera. Oh, sorry. Let me get rid of Loki. We're not doing Loki today. Boop. Okay. We're good. We're good. Right, num-nums. So yeah. That, I do need to label these a little bit too. But we will see. Okay, got my weights out. What do you think, Nomi? You okay? You okay, Num-Nums? Yeah? She snuggled so hard last night. She normally snuggles, but last night she was definitely like, we were like head to head. It was so cute. But she was having a little bit of breathing problems, so I'm just happy she's doing well today. I was afraid, with how much she exploded yesterday, I was afraid that if she wasn't doing well today, I'd have to take her to the vet, so. Yeah. Hi Julie, welcome on. Hi from Brazil. Oh, well, welcome. And I appreciate it. Did you see Joanne's stuff getting put inside Michael? Should contact Mike and see if they honor your Joanne's deal. That still depresses me. I was part of the Joanne's affiliate program. Like, it took so long to get into it. And then I didn't even really announce it because, like, a month after I got into it and I was trying to set up everything before I was like, oh, we're doing this now. And it was like, we're closing stores. And it's like, oh, so sad. But I actually have reached out to Michael's. So we'll see if something happens. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't seen what they've added yet. So, exciting though. Hopefully they'll get an actual, like, real cutting counter and not just a framing department cutting counter. And hopefully they add to their collection, because it was definitely a little lacking last time I was there. So, okay, hi hats. So we've got 3 hats. This one is the pirate one. The pirate one is the one I'm most like, I don't know if it will work. So, as always, all of my patterns, I make them first and then I build them out of foam before I release them to my website. So once they're done and I approve on them, then they will go to my website. But right now they will not be. So this one's kind of, we'll see. I hope it'll work. Most of the time they work, but sometimes they don't. So that's that one. I'm trying to see which ones I want to cut first. This one is the garden hat one, which for the pattern I forgot to add letters on them. So we'll do that. And then this one is the baseball hat. So I think we'll probably start with the baseball hat one first, just because that's the least amount of foam. Actually, well, I take that back. We're going to start with the most amount of foam, which is, we'll do the pirate one first. Yes. You go there. Okay, and this is number 3, so I want to label them first. Since I'll be adding all of the pattern pieces onto one piece of foam, I want to make sure I know which one goes to which. Looks like they're putting a Joann's section in the store. They're also adding a party supply section to try to make up for Party City going out. Okay, so there's tons of advertisements I get for Michael's, but they're all for their balloons. They're like, we added to our balloon section, it's huge, this and that. I'm just like, I don't care. Why am I getting balloon ads? I don't know. Power vacuum? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, technically, so when, was it Bed Bath & Beyond went out of business, Joann's took all of their stuff, and that's why they had so many more, like, decor things and, like, added to it, and other knickknacks and stuff, and, well, they, you know. So, I don't know. But, anyway, let's all start adding some pieces. Yeah, I'd agree. I think Michael's is trying a bit too much, especially because, so Joann's, like, was huge, but I'd say their fabric that they actually kept in the store was only, like, maybe 1/3 the size of the store, and the rest was, like, flower, like, knick-knack things, and then decor, and they kind of, they had a bunch, and I feel like Michael's is kind of that way already, so I don't know. Kinda. Okay, let us take these down. How's the Seth cosplay coming along? Any new beadwork updates? It's like, for me, I've been doing, well, the fabrics I've been using are more specialty ones. It's the, like, stretch fabric vinyl and the PU hipster stuff. It's a weird name. But I've only found, like, the materials that I like from Blue Moon Fabrics. So it's I've been kind of doing a lot more online shopping for fabric, which I really don't like. I hate online shopping. But I have found, what was it? Fabrics Wholesale Direct. I've only ordered sample fabric from them. I've never actually ordered fabric. And I did, like, I'm pretty sure they changed their website, at least from last time I looked. And they do very well, like, very good pictures of their fabric. So I can actually tell the stitching of it. And I can see, like, it gives me a much better idea of what to expect. So I have been liking that, but I just haven't ordered anything from them. Not too much of an update this week. Still working on beadwork for the hat this week. Work was slow though, so I made good progress. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I have no expectation for you to finish that cosplay, except for, like, maybe in a year, just because I know you're going beadwork crazy, which I love. So yeah, don't ever feel rushed if I ask you things, by the way. The one thing I would love, I saw somebody on Threads, they made I don't know the specific collar name. I always call them, like, the Elizabethan collars, but I know it's not that. It's where they're the choking ones, but it's up, down, and, like, very much, and it's gorgeous. And they said they, like, spent, like, I think they said they spent, like, 2 months or something on it, and it's got all of these intricate beads and stuff, and I have such an appreciation for it. It's so pretty, and I don't have the patience to do things like that. Like, I can make a full cosplay, and that's as much patience as I have. Like, I get bored after 2 weeks or maybe a month, and I can't focus anymore on it. So I'm going to put those down a little bit so y'all can see a little bit more of kind of what I'm working on. Yeah, if you're just getting here, we are doing hattie hats today. Made some new patterns, and so we're gonna put them on foam, and then we're going to heat treat, or well, trace them, heat treat, and then cut them out. And then I'll have to glue them later. I hear like a baby crying outside. I don't know. Here's my roll. I'm hoping to finish stuff by 2027. Ideally, think things will go faster once the beadwork is finished. I would hope they would go faster after the beadwork's done. I would be curious though, because I haven't seen everything that you're doing. Sorry, the cats are going nuts. Are you beadworking everything and then you're going to add them to parts? You're going crazy. Oh, you have a spring. Here you go. Here you go. Num nums. Ready? Ready? She loves her springs. But I'd be curious if you're doing where'd you put it? Where is it? Where'd you put it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, ready? Okay, let me try that again. Let me try it again. I'd be curious if you're doing each pieces where you're beading it on a piece that's finished, so like the cape's already sewn and then you're adding the beads to it, or are you doing where you have the hand embroidery hoop ring and then you're stitching it on there, and then afterwards you're going to attach it to like the finished piece and then sew the parts together? Just, I'm curious with that for if you're putting it through the sewing machine and stuff, and like, is the beads going to get in the way kind of thing. I don't know if that made sense. I know it definitely depends on the part, at least for me when I do things like that. I think she calmed down. I really hope I didn't get her too excited with playing with the spring and then she'll just explode somewhere. Welcome back. Did you bring it? Did you bring it back in here? I don't see it. Okay, 2 more pieces to tape on and then we will trace them. Be fun to do these little side projects again. Since I've been doing huge builds lately, or well, not huge, but like full builds. Hi, you Buke. Have you come to be crazy again? That makes sense. I think more of the second option. I usually hand sew the beadwork on in progress pieces. Let's say a sleeve, sew the beadwork on and finish. Okay, gotcha. siblings, they always love it when I make dresses or capes, because that's like a little party tent for them. And they just go nuts with it. You put it here. Any plans for anybody this weekend? I have planning to do a big hike this weekend. I've gotten into walking more, just because I'm able to now. And then let's see. I need to finish some videos this weekend, some review stuff. I need to do the Flash Forge one. I planned on doing it, like releasing it tomorrow, and it's getting pushed back again a week, so yeah. I've been so much like administration work lately, so I wanted to work on some cosplays, but you know. Your cats used to love sitting under your dress form. If there was a dress on it, it was like, yes! Ugh, so much. Okay, we're gonna trace some pieces. Let me get this out real quick. But yeah, hanging out with some friends again also this weekend, so it should be nice. Alrighty. Trace, trace, trace. Yeah, this one, for the pirate hat, I designed it a little bit different than most of my other stuff. Because it's intended... Like, in general, a pirate's hat is just like a circle. It's a normal hat that's been bent into shape. But trying to have it in that shape and tell people how to do it has kind of been the tricky thing. So I have it where you're going to score lines on this one. That's the plan. And then bend it. Because ideally, for all of my basic patterns, I'm trying to have it where you don't have to sand things. Like sand edges at like a 45 and do certain things as much as possible. Just because I feel like basic patterns should be as basic. So that way anybody, if they want to do it as their first foam build or something, they can do it. At least that's kind of the plan that I try to do. This pin seems like it is on the verge of dying. Can we stop playing, Mom? What are you doing? You gonna bite my bag, huh? Yeah, thank you. Okay, can go to the side. It's been forever. You have a little bunny in a box? Did you rescue a bunny? I miss Searches. We still have tons of bunnies though around the house, so it's nice. Every time I see them hopping around, I'm just like, thanks for visiting me, Ches. I hope you're doing well though. I haven't heard from you in a very long time. You've got a barbecue to go to, but besides that, I wanted to go through your fabric and trim stash and see if there was anything you could part with. Yeah. I understand that. I actually did that a few months ago, and then I bought all these like cardboard. They're like 8.5 by 11s, and then I did all of my fabric. I wrapped them around and put them on display for that. And so now I haven't gone back in a few months since I've bought more fabric and things, because it was supposed to be where I could then see what fabrics I have instead of buying the same type of fabric, which I've done quite a bit. And it did work. I have done it. But I haven't put fabric back on the shelf since. So I just have bags of fabric downstairs that need to be put back on the little cardboard inserts. So yeah. Yes, you put a picture of it in Crypto Discord? Okay, I'll have to look. Are you still working, I want to say you were working with horses on, like, the rancher farm? Are you still doing that? I know it was cars at one point, but I don't remember where everything has gone. Pen seems fine, but I want to... It's bugging me. Let's see if this one goes better. It like works and then it runs out of ink. Love working with the horses. Good! Glad to hear. Have you recovered from... I know a long time ago you had the issue of, was it a back problem or something? I don't 100% remember. But yeah. Have I been... I've been okay. So I had stage 4, I still have stage 4 endometriosis, and I had surgery a year ago. It helped for a bit, but I'm still having quite a bit of issues. So I'm gonna go in and talk to some people again and see. I've been trying to change my diet to basically gluten-free and trying to do that and trying to figure out things, just because with endometriosis you get what's called like an endobelly. And you basically look pregnant after you eat certain foods because your body just swells up in one area. So I've been trying to deal with that and get back into exercising, just because it took so long after the surgery for me to recover. But yeah, just doing that and working on cosplays. Same old, same old. It might be that I heat treat the foam first before I put the pin on next time. Can y'all? Stop that. Sometimes foam works better when you, for writing on, for heat treating it. Because right now, technically, this is unheat treated foam. And so typically I'll trace and then I will heat treat the foam. But sometimes the foam is very porous, and when it's very porous, it absorbs the ink or Sharpie or whatever. So by heat treating it first, you're actually causing the top layer to basically caramelize, and it doesn't get harder, it just makes it all the pores to shrink and they come together. So it doesn't absorb the ink as much, and it makes it where it's a lot easier to write on. So it seems like this type of foam is going to be that case. So I think we're going to need to heat treat it first. Get injured all the time. You got run over by the biggest horse. Like, oh my gosh. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't. I have an appreciation for horses, but I do not want to ride horses. I got thrown off a horse once, and I was just like, I'm I'm good. I don't need to get on it. Like, I didn't like the bounciness of riding the horse, and then when I got it to go fast, it's like, oh, this is cool, but then I couldn't get it to slow down, and then we went to a stop, and basically, like, he halted and I flew. So yeah, I'm good. I don't need horses anymore. Oh, I do need to... I forgot I need to do this. Boop, boop, boop. Our marks. This one's gonna be B, E, and this is a 3. Okay. Got lucky. All you show for it now is a spot on your skin that has not fully healed. Ah. B3. This is A, C, E, and E. Yeah, we're doing howdy hats today. This one's a pirate hat, and then we've got a gardens hat, a baseball hat, and then also I'd like to do a cowboy hat. That's the only one I haven't made a pattern for yet. What games have everybody been playing? I have been doing a Borderlands. I've been enjoying it, but the story bits, I want to explore, I want to do stuff, but the story has been a bit talk faster for me. I want to go to the next part and not stand around. And then I still have issues with, so there's a specific side collectible thing, and that's they have like these propaganda towers, these like speaker things, and basically they come, like the enemies come in waves and you have to like kill all of them and everything, but my computer, that's like the one thing in the game it does not like, and it has so many issues with like, I guess whenever they spawn in, my computer's just like, no, we don't like this. So, I don't know. ESO, I don't remember the abbreviation. Sorry. Yeah, I've been having fun with it. I did beat Aviatic Factor. Highly recommend it. So. I do! it has issues with it, so I don't know. Elder Scrolls Online, thank you. Thanks, Wizard. Right, that better. They did have a patch last night, though, for Borderlands. I have yet to play, though, because I ran out of space, so I had to delete a bunch of stuff. I don't think playing it, but you're watching Let's Play a Fire Emblem Path of... Oh, okay. I've never been a fan of the Fire Emblem things. I had one when I was a kid for, like... was it the DS or was it the Game Boy Advance? Like one of the original ones that was more like the board game kind of version. I know it's changed quite a bit. I don't know if it's still the same, but I never was a fan of it. It is one of the most requested things I get for cosplay, though. So maybe one day I'll do it, but just personally not that interested in it. The Fire Emblem and the Persona stuff, that's what I get a lot of requests for. F. Let's see, there's one game that just came out too, it's like a day or two ago. That's a survival, one-player one. I think it is it Winter Storm or Winter, it's something around like the winter time, and you're trying to survive kind of thing. So I'm interested in that one. Booster, welcome on. And then I still play my House Flippers 2 game just because it's so relaxing to just... I'll have it where I don't design the rooms myself. I find the community builds, and then they have like a job, and they're like, this is how our mood boards of what we want this to look like, so I'll just follow that. And so it's a nice little like 30-minute thing I can do at a time, and after I eat lunch I'll go play for a little bit just to relax. So the gameplay is mostly the same across the series, but there are tweaks and slight changes to each entry. Okay, this one will be the most difficult one, so I do need to add some guides. So this one I do want to make a note. Fix hat base, score lines to end part center. So that would be fix, 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 fix. So yeah, this is kind of how, when I do this, I make notes onto my original paper of like what to change. So that way before I release this, I'll go back into my file and then I'll make sure like those tweaks are done so it all fixes itself kind of thing. Or like there aren't any problems. And then of course I'm doing a tutorial with it as well, so I'll explain everything when I do the tutorial. But haven't worked with foam yet, so this is quite fascinating. I love working with foam. I actually find it pretty easy compared to a lot of other materials, just personally, because I've worked with sculpting kind of stuff a lot, so I understand thinking in the three-dimensional kind of part. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. We're making hats right now, and then this one is specifically a pirate hat that I'm working on. So let's see. But yeah, if y'all have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Even if we're talking about other stuff, we kind of, for these streams, just talk about whatever, and then if you have any cosplay questions or anything, you can always ask as well, and we can discuss that as well. So, yeah. Okay. Is it encouraging? Yeah. Sorry, I hear my cat ripping something. Yeah, I find foam to be a lot easier than working with Worbla. A lot of people say Worbla is the first one to start with, but personally, Worbla, you're most of the time having to cover an item with the Worbla, where the foam, you're just using foam. And then a lot of times also with Worbla, you're covering foam. So it was kind of like defeating the part of, like, you're still working with it. So this always just felt easier. It's a lot lightweight, especially if you're doing armor pieces, different things. And then I always recommend gluing it with contact cement glue, DAP brand. But if you don't want to wear a respirator and you don't want to deal with like the toxic fumes and everything, you can hot glue it together. You don't get the best results, but it is a pretty more easy and able place, like, way to get into cosplay. And then, like, you can always start with cardboard as well, and then learn how cardboard pieces work to transport it into, or transfer it into foam. Sorry, words. Fern coming back January 16th. Oh, that's soon. I didn't think it would come back or well, I guess I was thinking of Apothecary Diaries. Okay, that makes sense though. Yes. Sorry. Okay, I'm trying to think the best way. I'm gonna show it this way. Score that. Sorry, filming right now. Boop. Okay. We're good. Hopefully that'll make sense more. Alright. What's one of the most satisfying parts about the creation process with foam? I would say, not just with foam, but with everything, my favorite part of making cosplays is painting. I love airbrush painting. That's one of my favorite things to do. So that, you started with 3D print PLA armor builds and find what standing system. Okay, so I've done tons of 3D printing and 3D modeling and stuff, and personally, I can sand at my sanding bench with my Dremel and everything for like 6 hours straight in foam. Love it, don't care, have no issues. If I have to sand a 3D printed part for like more than 5 minutes, I'm miserable. I hate it so much. Like, it just, something with 3D printed like materials, the process is not fun for me of, cause I'm a sculptor and everything, by trade and everything. The fact that foam, like, I can remove the material, it's soft, I can form it to the shape that I want, where 3D printed stuff, it's this hard, plasticky, just like, bleh, bleh, dust everywhere, bleh, bleh. Airbrush painting, aka candy crush, I know. But yeah, as I say, because this build has a lot of 3D printed stuff, let's see, like, for the Loki helm with, which side does this one go on? It goes on this side. For, like, to kind of share. Ah! This is part of the helm for this one that I'll have with magnets that I designed, and I sanded this last night, but I'll do Rust-Oleum Sandable Tune 1 primer next. So then I can get rid of the stair stepping, and then I'll do some sanding after that. So yeah, but it's meh, 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 meh. Only like the wet sanding. Dry sanding is a bit miserable. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Like, I do great with, like, the 3D printed stuff and all. It's not my favorite, personally. Yeah, so Loki is our next cosplay. Sorry, yeah, we're not doing Loki today. So I was thinking we were. We're not. We're working on hats. I'm doing a female Loki as the next one. So it's based off of one of the statues, like figurine things that we're doing. So if you picture my Lady Thor cosplay, Jane Foster, I'm doing more of that style. So it's gonna be very detailed. Like I've got all of that, like the helm. We've got some of the other pieces that I did. I showed them earlier, but those pieces in the background here, that's actually the cape for her. And then I've got, like, she's just turned around because she's indecent for streaming, and I'll get flagged. So. But yeah, that's the next build. I'm hoping I'll have it done maybe in the next week. And then we'll start on the next build. Yeah. So, fun. That will do. Yep. That down. What armor or types of armor were you doing with 3D printing? I know a lot of people do for their first builds and things. I don't know how long you've been doing it, but a lot of people do Iron Man, or they do the Star Wars Trooper armor. Oh, and for those that are watching on TikTok or on Instagram, I am live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that is where I'm reading chat and answering questions. So go over to YouTube. It is free, and that's also where all of my cosplay tutorials are if you're interested in learning to do this yourself. First cosplay was Iron Man suit. Nice. Yeah. That seems to be a popular one for everybody. And it's one that you can find the files pretty easily if you're not 3D modeling it yourself. A month ago, you started cosplaying. Oh, okay. Do stories and learn. Oh, I'm glad I can help. If you don't mind me asking, if you have watched the tutorials, is there like one that you find that has helped the most or stood out the most for like learning new things? No pressure. No pressure. Okay, write that one. And then we've got almost done with this part. But yeah, we're definitely, I'm still fairly new with this type of foam, so our new sponsor is Coscom Cosplay Supply, so I've still been kind of figuring out like each foam that you get, like different brands, they're all relatively, you work with them the same, but sometimes it's better to work with them and do a different way. What is that? don't know. I think we might have construction soon. I know they just ripped off like all of the sidewalk around the houses and stuff. So, sorry. Distracted. What was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. I'm sorry. Fishbowl brain again. Be approachable for the person in full suit. Be less self-conscious? Wait. There's a quick reel you did on Instagram that hooked you instantly. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you came from Instagram then. Yeah, all of my reels and shorts and whatever they are on the platforms, they're like very, very short versions of like my longer tutorials, which are here. So. Score, and then this one is H3. There we go. Putting on Tyrael. Yeah, that one was a new one. Tyrael I actually made back in 2018, and it technically was not made for me. I made it for my sister because I wore Ariel, which is also one of the angels from Diablo. And so it was the first time that I had personally worn it. So it was fun to do that. But I was shocked that all the lights still worked, because it's been in storage since 2018. And I've moved quite a bit, so the fact that it still was able. We did have to solder a battery though, because I like with moving and everything, I hadn't used my batteries, so they're like huge things like that for them, and got rid of them after I did the dress up for Ariel, because I didn't think I would ever do Tyrael, because I was hoping one day I'd have my sister wear it again, but she's no longer that size either. So yeah. But it still worked out. So okay, and then G here, and that should be it. This one is definitely the most complicated, so we will see if it works. But everything is labeled, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna do a basic cut for this, and then we'll heat treat that, and then we'll heat treat this other side before I put on. Oh, I was talking about the foam. So yeah, for different types of foams, sometimes, so we did used to use the SKS props foam, the HD foam. And that one, it was fine to write on. It didn't absorb as much, but you still wanted to heat treat it. This one is more raw, so it does seem like I need to heat treat it first before writing on. Just for, like, you don't have to, but for my personal preferences, the results seem a lot better, I think. So, okay. There. So, yeah. Something with wings where you don't know what yet. Wings are so much fun. I just released like a month ago all of my 3D wing harnesses, so I highly recommend that if you're interested in wings. It's a good base point to attach wings on, and then if you know how to, like, because you already been doing 3D printed stuff, it's a good base, and then if you want to get into foam, that would be an easy thing to kind of learn basic wings on. I don't think this blade is sharp. Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. I'll put you to the side temporarily. And move my cutting mat. I don't need these actually, because I did them differently. Boop. Alrighty. How you doing, Num Num? You okay? Who's okay? You doing okay? Yeah? Good boy. So you just waiting in the background. Alright, let's get the heat gun out. I do need to replace my heat gun. It's kind of works, but with traveling so much, the protector cord has started coming off, and I don't quite trust it with flying anymore. Someone. Okay. Got on your profile? Nice. Okay, so we're gonna heat treat. So it'll be a little bit noisy, for those that haven't seen it before. Actually, I'm gonna open this a little bit. Boop. Okay. And this is 4mm foam that we're using for all of this. It's my go-to. Good morning. How are you doing? I've been waiting for you to hop on. I have a new anime I found that, I don't know if you recommended it or whatever, but I found it. Oh, and it's like The Water Magician or something on Netflix. Or not Netflix, Crunchyroll, sorry. And I really like it. Flip to the other side. There's any spots that I missed. Hard to tell with the shadow on the table, but it should be good. Oh, I'm still active. I always fail the puzzle thing on TikTok the first try. There we go. Okay, we will put this to one side and then we'll do the other one. Any advice you might have for me with making the Lich Queen or King cosplay? I have that on my list, but doing the Queen version, it depends. Are you what is the route you plan on going? Are you 3D modeling and printing? Are you buying CAD files and printing them? Are you wanting to do foam work with it? You gotta tell me a little bit more, and then I can go with that. Love the water magician? Yeah! I think I'm on episode 3 or 4. It's really good. I had it as a recommendation of it's like Solo Leveling finally got beaten, and this is the anime that's beating it or whatever. I was like, okay, let's see, because I love Solo Leveling. But I knew it was like a clickbait post kind of thing, so I didn't know if it was gonna be a real good anime or if it was just like something. But I'm liking it a lot. I am hoping, though, if they do get a season 2, or I don't know how the anime is going, but, the graphics, though, like, some of them are like, oh, this is really good, and then some of them are like, that they ran out of budget, almost, and it's kind of, I hope it will change. So, yeah, also, I really hate the intro song. I hate it so much. Normally I like the anime intro songs, but this one, not my cup of tea at all. Okay, had 2 people in your family pass away, but other than all, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everybody is doing okay. So, mentioned heat treating. What is the purpose? So, since I don't have it fully done, let's see. I do have a video on it, but okay, you can kind of see it with this angle. So there is a line right here. So right here, this is the heat treated part. This one's the non-heat treated part. So when you heat treat it on all types of foam, it kind of makes this like a shine to it where it's dull beforehand. But basically your foam is very porous. So it's like this. When you use the heat gun, not a blow dryer, a heat gun, the pores then shrink and close like this. It makes it possible for if you're priming the foam or painting after, the foam in general, because it's porous, it will absorb your paint. And by doing this, it makes it where it's an even consistent surface on top and makes it where everything can stick on the top and you get the most vibrant like hues and everything. Also heat treating, it just makes it so if you sand your edges, foam, it becomes very fluffy when you sand with a sanding drum or sandpaper. And so if you think of it as like, if you use a flame on like a cake or something, or like if you're roasting a marshmallow, you get this kind of crispness on it very lightly, and it closes it and makes it so the ooze doesn't come off. You're kind of doing that with a foam. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, I gotta finish this one. But yeah. But it has to be to a certain temperature, which is why you can't use a blow dryer. You have to use a heat gun. I don't remember the specific temperature off the top of my head. And it makes it so you can also bend it easier into the shape that you want. So it's something you always want to do. I do it before I glue anything, because when you use a heat gun, if you were to use contact cement glue to glue your foam together, or hot glue, or whatever type of stuff you're using to bond things, the heat gun, because of the heat, is going to reactivate the glue and cause that glue to no longer bond as well, and it's going to become loose, and all of your edges will then separate. So that's where you'll end up having a lot of people who will do the last step as heat treating their piece, but that last step then ruins their piece because all of their seams come apart, or they'll have all of these dips and stuff. So I always recommend it as one of the first stages, And if you do a bunch of heavy sanding on something, doing a very light heat treat of the foam after for that specific section to help. And then by heat treating your foam first before you cut it, you then get very crisp and 90-degree angles with your blade when you cut. Versus if you were to cut your pieces first and then heat treat after, the heat gun actually, because it is shrinking, all of your edges then become what I call the gummy bear effect. So all of your edges then become slightly round and no longer are nice and sharp. I kind of bit more because of where I stopped. So what happens when you stop and go. There we go. Now we are good to draw on our next patterns. But I'm gonna grab some water real quick. So, cheers guys! Thank you for watching. Oh. 3D printed the helmet and printed the rest of the armor using LEDs to light it up. Somehow going to have smoke with dry ice or something. Haven't figured it out. Who was... There is a specific cosplayer that released a bunch of smoke machines. They're like tiny little, like this big, and it has a tube that you can put the tube throughout to have it release. So then you don't have to do dry ice. You do... It's like something where you put like vaping packs or something in it, but it's not vaping. It's I don't know exactly, but I would recommend that. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. If anybody else remembers, please let us know or put it in Discord. So yeah. Bradley, welcome on. Hope you're doing well. Heat treat varies essential, or sounds very essential. Yes, very much so. You can paint on non-treated foam, but it looks, in comparison, it looks like you painted on cardboard versus painting on canvas. It's a very, you can see the difference. I also recommend with foam too, I prime it with Plasti-Dip, which is a rubber spray paint. I do 3 coats of it. And it helps hold all the pieces together easier and just gives it a better surface for painting. Okay, let us start with our next one. As I died. Sorry. The next one is going to be, we'll cut the pirate stuff out later. Why do I have this one out? Oh, because I cut the things. My bad. This one is the garden hat. It takes up the next amount of foam, and this one's number 2. So let me write everything down on here. Learning so much. Glad to know. Yeah, feel free. I try to stream on Fridays. Typically I do in the afternoons, but I'm kind of liking doing this early stream. For me right now it's a little after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So in case you're wondering time zones or whatever, if you're wherever. But yeah, feel free to always come on and just ask away. I am really bad at responding when I'm not live. So I always say if you want to ask questions, cosplay advice and stuff, come to the live stream. Because then I'm just gonna rant and say whatever, and answer your questions, but otherwise I don't respond. I'm bad at it. Yeah. Okay, so let us start. This one, we'll take on our pieces. lay them out and see. Probably will have to get another piece of foam out. That one actually fits perfectly there. So I can... We might be able to do that way. Let's try that. Tiny specialty, and that is exactly, yeah. Be careful with the smoke machines though, especially if you're going to cons. Yes, there are a few cons that don't allow it. I've seen more European cons that don't allow it though. But yeah, depending on the convention rules, some of them don't allow it. And then if you're wanting to enter it in a cosplay contest, I've seen a lot of European cons that they don't allow it, which I hadn't really heard of that here in the US, but I haven't done smoke machines, so I haven't really paid too much attention to it. Trying to do something different, yeah. Feel free. Also, we have an open Discord if you do !Discord in the YouTube chat right now. You can join there. We have a cosplay section and things. And you can always ask questions to our fellow community. Alright. Let us... Can I fit this one? Well, it'd be better this way. This is always the puzzle piece of trying to get all of your foam to fit. I think that's good there. Water Magician and Silent Witch were the animes I mentioned. Okay. Yeah, I wrote them down somewhere. I just don't remember where I did. It wasn't in my booklet. So, yeah. But, the Silent Witch. I'm gonna write that one down again. I don't think that's the one I was watching on Netflix. There was another one I found on Netflix that is really good. Oh, it's not a witch one though. It's two high school students. One's an all boys school and one's an all girls school. I'm rich, I'm preppy, I'm not allowed to talk to you. And the boys school is all troublemakers. And then two of them, one of the guys, like the main guy, he works at his mom's bakery, and then the main girl goes to the other school, and that's how they meet. So and it's really cute. That one's on Netflix. I just don't remember what it's called. You okay, Mama? Yes, that one! The flower bloom thingy. Yes. I wasn't in an anime watching mood, but then after I found that one, and then I found the Water Magician, I'm like, ooh, I like these. Yeah. Is plastic dip process something planned for this hat, or is that only necessary for certain circumstances? So, for the purpose of this hat, these are patterns that I'm making for the community. So this pattern, once I cut out all of the pieces out of foam and I glue it together, that will be the end of its life. It is just for a picture to show this is a hat, and also to make sure my pattern works before I release it on my website for the public. So it will not be plasti dipped. Just like all of my basic breastplates, none of them are plasti dipped. Now, if you were to use it to make your own, like this one is a garden hat. So if you were to make your own garden hat from it for a cosplay, you're most likely not going to leave it in its foam form. You're going to want to paint it. So at that point, I would recommend plasti dip. Plasti dip is a rubber spray paint, so you will need to be in a well-ventilated area, in your garage with the garage door fan blowing, or outside. You will need to wear a respirator, and then you apply 3 coats of paint onto 360 of the piece. And for that, it is basically every single one of my foam builds I've used it. And I have used it on 3D printed materials. So like this piece here, all of this has been plasti dipped onto the foam. And then same with this. So this part here has plasti dip on it as well. And this part is 3D printed. So it kind of holds it all together. Now there are non-toxic ways to prime your foam. But plasti dip is my go-to and my personal one that I recommend. It's just not everybody can do it for how, like, their circumstances. Like, it does get a bit pricey because each can, I think, has gone up to like almost $10. And then because you can't do it inside, some people, if they live in an apartment, then it's not the ideal circumstance. So, but yeah, there's, oh, what are the other ones? I have, let's see. So I have not used it yet, but this one is one that I'm going to be testing out. This is also from Cosplay, or Coscom Cosplay Supply, and that's where my foam is provided. So I was going to later on do a video of how to prime your foam without plasti dip using this, to see how well I like it. There's also, I've seen people do Mod Podge. I don't like that. You get more of brush strokes and streaks. It doesn't look as clean as plasti dip because it is a spray paint. You get a more even, consistent look to it. So hopefully that helps. Never done any of this yet, but yeah, I'm quite interested in, yeah. I've also filmed, I'm behind on videos, so I have filmed a tutorial for plasti dip. I just have not edited yet, so maybe in the next like few months I'll get around to it. That's what you use. You love the okay, cool. Yeah, I have a bunch of their materials that I plan on testing out for me, for my personal use kind of thing, and then also sharing to other people, because I know what I like is not necessarily the best for everybody. So I like to have different options. Yeah. Alright, those are pieces, so we can trace this now. Definitely getting hungry though. Real quickly, almost done filming this part. Okay, done filming that. First cut you do just regular, but the second and third you water down a little to make sure you don't have brush strokes. Huh. Yeah, I typically eat lunch at like 11:30, which is right now, but because I'm streaming, I'm trying to push it to 12. So yeah. I'm liking doing morning streams, but I'm definitely... Y'all are catching me a lot more tired than normal for my streams, but I'm kind of wanting... Like, I don't like waiting around to stream, because I feel like I can't do anything otherwise, because I'm waiting, okay, this and this. So I'm testing it out still. Great in the winter and colder months, and is not toxic. Yeah, that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to personally test it out, is because here in Nebraska now, with, like in Texas, I didn't have a problem with Plasti Dip. It didn't really get cold too bad. But here in Nebraska, I have my own personal spray booth now. But when it gets to below 20 degrees, I cannot heat the spray booth hot enough to keep it at the temperature I need. So I've been trying to find, like, different versions in case I do have to do something. So yeah. First AnimeCon next weekend. Decided to do con coverage with something that makes an AnimeCon unique from other cons. You'll have a lot more anime-specific cosplayers there, and then you'll have... If the convention has... So I love AMV videos, anime music videos. Those are always great, and I don't typically see those at other conventions. It was really big back in the day when I first started cosplaying. I haven't seen it too much at a lot of the more recent conventions, so I don't know if it's something that's dying, or if it's just because of copyright issues now with using music and things and license. Not 100% sure, but that was one of my favorites. Yeah, it depends on a specific con. You'll have a lot of panels that are specific for like an anime. I've been to some that have like the After Dark anime trivia, which is kind of funny. But, and I don't know if I'm probably the best on asking that now, just because I don't, like, when I guess now, like, I don't typically go to conventions unless I guess, just because they are expensive, and I try to only do, like, one a year now, just for fun, so I can do them. But typically the ones I go to for fun are gaming ones. I do find a lot more anime cosplayers tend to do more group cosplays with friends versus you'll have meetup groups at other ones. Like, you'll still have group cosplays and all, but I feel like in general you'll have more people do the anime ones together. Yeah, cosplay events. I mean, at every convention you'll have the cosplay stuff. Like the cosplay contest and all. Sometimes they'll have, more gaming ones will have like a sign with their logo, but some anime ones will, depending on the size. Yeah. Oh, my phone's gonna die soon. Let's switch. Let's switch. Will this one reach? Both of them are like dying. Okay. TikTok has a little bit more life. Instagram, we'll see if you stay alive. There we go. Keep thinking about food. Oh wait, like that. So keep an eye out for capturing good moments, fandoms. Look into your work. Yeah, glad to help. I know, I'm just thinking about food now too. D2 C D E F and D. Thanks for stopping by and enjoy your lunchy lunch. Alright, 2 more. There. Right, this one. F2 E D and E and E. Okay, and then one more. Oh. Okay, I plan on after lunch. I need to film, I'll probably put on a tiny bit of makeup so I don't look so dead for videos, but I need to film an intro and exit video for, or outro, whatever, for Dark Magician Girl, because I'm doing a tutorial for the hat and the staff, so I need to do that so I can start editing those, and then, I probably won't cut these out today because it'll just be more pieces around the house, but I need to do for Loki, the plan is for her breastplate area and for the tummy area, I got some Warbler and I want to do a Warbler mold of it on the mannequin, and then that will be the base for the breastplate. So probably do that tonight. Also, I have a new thing I want to try out with for doing like a fish scale kind of look onto it. I'm not going to explain it though, just because I want to test it out first. But I'll be doing that. And then later tonight, plan on going out to 2 places. One for hopefully some live music, and then to another bar after it with some friends. What keeps you motivated to craft and work on cosplay? I enjoy doing it in general. I mean, it is my full-time job, so I pay bills, yeah. But I've always been an artist. I've always made things. I went to art school. I'm a maker. I love making things and doing stuff. And it helps me a lot. I mean, as much stress as it causes, it also is something that I really enjoy. It helps with, like, I do suffer from depression and anxiety quite a bit. And it does help me with that. But I get hyper fixated on things. So, excuse me, for like my passion builds, not my community cosplay builds, they're more of, I'll start hyper fixating on something and then I'll be like, oh, I have to make this because I'm so hyper fixated, and I'll just sit there for hours doing something. It's kind of like, that's why I'm fascinated with the beadwork, because something that I can't do, I can hyper fixate, but I can't do that type, which surprises a lot of people when they find out about like the hyperfixation and things like that, is because that's typically somebody that can do the beadworking, and it always impresses me. But I just enjoy it. I don't know. I have had burnouts before, and I feel for me to get out of a burnout sometimes takes a bit. After Seth, I had a burnout. Same with Lilith. And those were both passion personal projects, but they took so long, which is why I have a hard time working on a cosplay for more than 2 months at most. And both of those were both like a long period for me to work on something and dedicate it, because it's just, I'm not finishing something. Which, side note, that's why I love Power Wash Simulator, because when you finish a project, or like as you finish things, you get the ding, 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 and it's something in my brain that I like. But sorry, off topic. But yeah, doing that, I definitely have like burnouts from those, and I'll typically do like a week off of social media, but that's for me, it's my full-time job, and I'll sometimes hyperfixate on social media, so I have like rules that I don't look at it after, I try not to, I'm bad at it right now, but after 6 p.m. and on Sundays, I try not to look at my phone at all, because I'll start spiraling. And I'm losing focus. I'm really bad at losing focus. Oh. But I find if I can't focus on something and I'm not interested in a build, it's harder. But typically for each cosplay, I do different materials. So switching from one cosplay where it's focused on foam, and then the next cosplay is focused on fabric, it helps me stay interested, because if I'm only working in one technique the whole time, I get really bored of it, and I just get burnt out of one thing. And then after a burnout, I'll have to force myself always to finish the next cosplay. And normally it takes a lot longer. I'll try to do a simpler build when I'm in that state, and that simple build should take me maybe like 5 days to do, but it'll end up taking me a month because I'm having to force, and I find after I've done forcing myself to finish that, I then am out of the state, and it helps for me personally, but it can be a struggle. Just curious because you think you're on the edge of a burnout trying to figure out how to avoid that. Switching materials often sounds like a good... Yes, definitely. That's like the best thing I can recommend. For... I find doing that helps quite a bit. So like foam, fabric, Warbler, adding... That's why I work with so many different materials too. So each build... For Loki, she has belt straps and stuff, and I could make those out of foam, but for me, I'm doing them in leather because for me, I want to do more of the leather technique because I'm more interested in it right now. Where my last build with Dark Magician Girl, even though you don't see any of the foam, pretty much everything is foam that's been covered in fabric. So by switching to that, and also that this build it has a lot more 3D printed material parts, it helps me stay focused more and not be burnt out as much. I don't know if this one's the Coscom one or not, but we're gonna use that. And I'm gonna be lazy and not heat treat it, because there's only a few spots. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. So yeah. I would, for doing bead work, maybe suggestions would be, I don't know how you're specifically doing it, but if you're doing one piece, like if you're going back and forth between red and gold, or like maybe do all of the gold parts first and then all of the red parts, instead of working on one petal that's like gold, red, white, and then doing gold, red, white, maybe just doing all of them. I don't know. I don't know if I'm being helpful. I'm sorry. But yeah. Or maybe just taking a break from the beading and doing a little bit of sewing might help. Or if you're making the staff or something, just doing base parts of it. I also find doing small projects help that you can complete. So for me, doing these hats, doing breastplates, like basic patterning and stuff in between builds helps me because I'm pausing on something else, and so it helps kind of rejuvenate that part, if that makes sense. So maybe taking a pause on the beading and going to sewing fabric parts or cutting trim. If you're making a corset for her, maybe switching and then doing the corset to take a break and then go back. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, Hattie Hat time. But yeah, if anybody else has other advice of how they get out of a burnout, feel free. Being helpful, actually feeling good on beadwork. I think I might be burning out on sewing right now, so I may switch gears to non-sew. Okay. Yeah, if you can Sorry, I need more water. For me, it's the completing stuff. Little small projects that I can complete, then I feel like, oh, I'm accomplishing something. And then that helps where if you're doing one task for a very long time, then you feel like there's no like even if you are making progress, sometimes it can feel like you're not making progress. So, yeah. Nugget's so cute. She's just asleep on her back in the background. It's a very slow version of this song. I am at least not getting hit on Instagram this time for copyright. Like, none of this should be, but last stream, or last Friday when I did this, it kept getting flagged for some reason. I think you might work on props. You have sword, you can sand and paint, and I want to make a book prop. Ooh, that seems cool. Yeah, I switch it up. If you're starting to feel that burn, like, switch it up. Just don't go away too long. Because for me, or at least personally, if I go away from a project for too long, then I might not go back to it. Yeah. What kind of book prop are you trying to do? This one's the baseball hat. You can see the little cappy, like, is it the bill, I think is what it's called? I designed this one though without the bead on the top, so we'll see if I want to add it after. Okay, last piece. Right there. Pretty good at returning to projects for the most part. I think for my book prop, I want to keep it simple and get one of those wooden hollow books and paint over it. Ooh. So like like a compartment book kind of thing? Slender Slayer. Thank you, appreciate it. I wanted it out of the way and I just kind of did a little Brady thing real quick, so. It's been a bit fluffy. I need to trim my bangs more. They're gotten a little long, so. Alrighty. But yeah, I hope you're doing well. Oh, I didn't mark. These are 1. Yes. Don't let me forget. I totally did not draw that line. is E, B, D, C1. Okay. Exactly, that way I can put stuff in it too. Nice! I tempted to do that with, so my Marcel cosplay from Delicious in Dungeon, she has like a book prop. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool to do that. And I thought about it, but then I didn't. And I just made it an EVA foam book that didn't open at all. It looks really good, but I just like, I don't feel like designing this. So, but yeah, that's cool. Nothing worse than hair getting all over your face during yeah, I'm used to it pretty much, because my hair is so fluffy all the time. But, yeah. I get to the point where I did brush it this morning, because it was like all crazy. I hadn't brushed it in a few days. When I brush it, it just gets really fluffy. I have so much hair. But yeah. How are you doing though? We are working on hat patterns today. We've got 3. This one is the last one that we're tracing onto 4mm foam. So yeah, this one. Does this one have a? That one's definitely supposed to attach that. Sorry, distracted rude. I found another issue with my pattern. This is how I always test it. There's supposed to be a label here, and I don't know offhand which one that one is. But yeah, we're doing, this one's a baseball hat that we're working on, and then we traced a pirate hat, and then also a garden hat. So, back into your writing. Any specific character in mind for? Oh no, these are just basic patterns. So yeah, just like the breastplates I did a while back for different sizes and stuff, I'm doing a bunch of just basic hat patterns that the community can get and use to help with their cosplays. So, nothing special. It's a good little side project too. We are still working on my Lady Loki cosplay. I showed a bunch of stuff to it earlier, or for it. But yeah, I'm hoping that one, the Lady Loki, I'm hoping to finish by next week. I've been I haven't really been working on it except for like once or twice a week. So I want to just kind of work on it. I'm tired of doing administration stuff all the time. So yeah. You did a book prop once out of EV foam, and it was a bag it open along the spine to hold. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I had, for Marcel, the pouches she had, I made them slightly longer, so, or larger, so my phone would fit in it. I love those. Those are, like, the best things when I can have my phone actually on me, because most of my cosplays, I can't have my phone on me somewhere. And it's just not worth it making, like, pockets for a cosplay. I'm only gonna wear, like, ones. And F. Yeah. Welcome to the community. I was in my female Thor at a convention 2 or 3 years ago, and I think there was a Lady Loki at that one, if I remember right. We both did like a prop kind of like fight scene. I don't know if I ever got pictures of that one though. So. A book prop here. Yes! She has her little the white bag. It carries the book in it. And if you want to be extra, you can actually have it where there's certain, like, I was gonna say recipes, but not recipes, like her spells and stuff in it. Yeah, switch it up. And then this one, I don't know. I want to say these two go together. And then when it folds, it goes down. But I don't remember offhand. You've seen plenty of videos of cosplayers messing around in their cosplays. Oh, yeah. All the time. We'll see if I actually do these holes or not. But I made indentations for them, so. That one's supposed to be like the baseball hat I did is supposed to be one where it's like open in the back and it has the plastic like little clippy thing. I can't say words right now. I'm so fried. Oh yeah. G B H1. Y'all get to experience me in my loopiness right now. But hope everyone's having a great Friday. I appreciate everyone spending a little time with me today. A and C. Let's see, are we? Oh, we're almost at the end of the month too. This month has definitely flown by for me. Especially because I was like sick for a week and a half. It's been fun. Kind of feels like we're crafting. Yeah! That's like, for me with streaming, so beforehand when I used to stream on Twitch, it felt like I had to keep certain standards of like how many people were watching, and to keep my numbers up and like in a panic all the time for that. But no, I'm happy I've switched to YouTube, and I want it to be a relaxing place that people can come and craft and do stuff and just hang out and chat. And I don't care about the numbers. I don't stream for income for here on YouTube. So it's been nice to not worry about that. And it's very, very good now for me. But yeah. Side projects like this are always good to do. It's something to do and it keeps up the, yeah. Doing anything for spooky season? I've got a wedding I'm going to for a step cousin, I believe. The first weekend of October. Well, the second weekend of October is my sister is coming to visit, and I haven't seen or talked to her in 3 years, so I'm excited for that. And she's of drinking age now, so I can take her to cocktail bars and things and, like, introduce her to, like, all of this world. So, yeah. Excited about that. And then there's like a lot of things happening in October here in Omaha. They do a huge amount of festivals and pumpkin patch thingies. There's like this huge... I've been here for 3 years and I didn't know that there was like... It's like villas or something. It's an amusement park just for like fall with tons of rides and things. So we're gonna go to that. The zoo does a Halloween thing at night. So I'm gonna try to do that. But yeah, I think one of my friends is doing a Halloween party thing, so probably doing that too. But I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. I haven't thought too much ahead, except for like since my sister's coming. So yeah. Alright, those are all of the pieces. Boop, put it down here. But yeah, I think that is going to be where we stop for the day. I'm gonna switch over to this camera. Ba-da-da-da. So yeah, I am hungry. I do still like streaming in the mornings like this. But I do feel bad that I'm not streaming longer. We're only doing it for 2 hours. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know on Discord if y'all like these morning streams or the afternoon streams. I'd love to hear more feedback from that later on. But that's gonna be it for today's stream. Next week is the 4th. No, the 3rd. I think I'll be able to stream. The wedding is on the 4th, so, and I think we're staying the night the 4th to 5th. So yeah, I think there should be a stream next week. But anyway, have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you later. Bye-bye. Which button is it?